Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, folks? JT here with another Chart Talk Live Tuesday pre-market session. Hope everybody is doing well this morning. It is October the 7th. Let's get going. Let me get over to our live stream chat. What's up, Salty Q? We'll just go with Salty. All right, let's get the screen sharing started so we can get this party started. All right, that looks good. YouTube looks good. All right, I think we're ready to go. Let me just send out a quick, what's up, Eddie Mentium? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Just get something out into the chat here real quick, and then we'll get rolling. All right, there we go. What's up, LB? What's up, Riddle? What's up, E? E. All right. Let's dig in. We don't have a lot to recap just because I went down with the I guess a bad reaction to the flu shot last week, so apologizing for having to cancel last minute for Thursday's session. I was planning on being able to do it, but I could barely talk, so it was not going to be a very productive session that morning for sure. So we're going to recap last Tuesday's plans. We don't have any plans from last Thursday to recap, and then we'll just get to work on some new trade plans here this morning. LB wants to take a look at IREN. Sure, we can take a look at that. That's cruising, been cruising. We had a plan on it a while back that I used to scoop up a bunch of shares, and those are just running like their hair's on fire right now. All right, so let's talk about things from an ES perspective, and then we'll get to some of these questions and new trade plans and ticker requests. For those of you who are new to joining these sessions, there is a little kind of word bubble icon top right hand of the morning live stream channel. Make sure you click on that, pop that open. That's how you can type your messages to me, questions, your ticker requests. What do you want me to take a look at? What do you want to discuss this morning? So let's get started as we let folks get in the mix and start talking, chit-chatting. Good morning, good morning. All right, so ES kind of been going sideways through a couple of our extended price targets that we've talked about on previous live streams. Still trying to really give us a nice confirmed break over this 67.95.75 level. Over that, again, I anticipate a move up to that 68.35 level. Overall, things generally looking pretty bullish here on the hourly, and I know that's true for higher time frames. Let's take a look at a couple of slightly smaller time frames. Yeah, I mean, still things looking super bullish, and I have a feeling this is just going to show those SMAs catching up as better support here. Bouncing off the 333 pre-market. So yeah, I mean, overall things looking a little bit sideways, but still overall bullish. Market consolidating a little bit, perhaps before the next leg higher. Again, I haven't seen any significant breaks of structure to me that says, okay, we need to start being very cautious and focus a little bit more on trying to find some tops to sell. No, I'm not seeing any signs of that at this point. Just kind of sideways consolidation, looking to get through that next level and start to test some of these higher targets from there. So that's a quick take on ES. Let's go through these couple of trade plan recaps, and then we'll work on some new trade plans. We did do Tesla on last Tuesday's live stream. We didn't have a chance to talk about it last Thursday because I had to cancel last minute, but overall, Tesla did break out, got to PT1 plus there last Thursday. Then it pulled back, broke down below the call entry, rejected down caught that support there at 418.91 and has been trying to bounce back and reclaim that call entry here at 447. So could see a potential opportunity to rerun this Tesla plan with a play off of 447, playing for some of these price targets up a bit higher through these call price targets through 470, 488, and 504 with a stop loss average down at 434.96. I'll go ahead and drop this in the chat one more time just so you all will have it. But this one could be a good opportunity to try to catch this upside again on this break above and back test of 447. So keep your eyes on that with Tesla. And then open. We're actually in this one probably a little bit ahead of schedule, but finally started to give us the move that I've been looking for yesterday. Now looks like it's trying to flip PT1 to support here, potentially for a push for that next leg higher up to PT2, and ultimately my call target there at 1051. So open looking strong, pushing higher, getting through those moving averages, and finally breaking over this key resistance that it was really struggling with, and seeming to flip it to support there on that nice pump that we had during the day yesterday. All right, so with that, let's get to some new ticker requests. LB's in here bright and early with IREN. If you guys have others, please start getting those in the chat. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop those in there as well. I'm happy to answer those while I work on our charts and our plans and sip my coffee. All right, let's take a look at IREN. Ripping up. Yeah, our last trade plan for it was, which is where I think I got my shares at, 19 and some change. Going through these fib extensions. I didn't plot all of them out though. It actually looks like it's testing. Potentially. One here this morning. Stop bragging. Just the facts. Follow these plans. That's why we do these. And sometimes options isn't, the only way to make money in the markets. I mean, shit. I think this year especially, just buying and holding shares and occasionally finding like really solid opportunities to sell some calls against those shares has probably paid me just as much, if not more, than my options trading has. And it's been a lot less stressful. So, yeah, with some of these plans, these could be good options to, pick up a few hundred shares, whatever your, portfolio will tolerate, as far as not oversizing the position. And then, just let it develop. All right, got those additional fib extensions from that prior set here on IREN. Looks like we might have another top, though, that we could use to draw out a new set. Probably, yeah, right here. So let's take a look at that. I want to flag that level so I don't lose sight of it. All right. Let's check this out. Did I get all those? Yeah. So we're running out of fib extensions here. Oh, you know what? Let me clean up this chart a little bit. Shares at 19, selling covered calls. Yeah. I did sell some covered calls. God, what did I sell? I mean, I still have a bunch of shares uncovered. I sold covered calls. I sold 51 on a third of my shares, but I collected $5 in premium. So that gives me up to 56 on those shares, really, before I start to miss out on any profit. And then I still have the shares that are uncovered. So, yeah, those 55 calls might be in trouble. We'll see. But I'd be okay with it. I mean, these are trades, right? This isn't, you're not married to them. This isn't a wife. They're just stocks. You gotta let them go eventually. well, I shouldn't say that. You don't have to let them go eventually if they're great names. If you get caught in a cycle of hyper growth and never take profit, then you could wind up in a cycle of just waiting for those profits to return, essentially, which is not ideal. All right, so let me just clean this chart up real quick. No, I was kind of rambling there. Where's all those other levels? Oh, there we go. All right, that looks better. I do want to take a look at what we can work with off of this high right here. Can we get a good touch back here? No. All right, cool. That's right where it needed to be. So let's map this out. Yeah, we'll check as many of these as we can. Sold, cover calls when it's deep in the money, not church. Yeah, it's you just have to be willing to. You can always wheel it, right? Well, we can get into that in another session soon. But yeah, I mean, if you get like those, what did I say, 51 calls that I sold, again, essentially I have coverage up to 56 because of the 500 in premium I collected. So, if those do get called away, I could go sell some 54 puts, right, and collect premium until I get reassigned and technically be back in those shares for slightly cheaper. So, it's like I said, these things are meant to be traded, not held forever unless it's an investment, right? I mean, kind of have your investment, or at least I do, an investment portfolio and a trading portfolio. I guess what I'm talking about when I say don't hold forever, it's kind of more the trading portfolio, which is what we're here to do. All right, so, sorry. Let's see how this shakes out. That's going to give us a new extension here. There. All right. This is not that relevant anymore. So, then we have this prior. What's up, Chris? Good morning, brother. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Doing a plan for IREN at the moment. IREN is flying. How do we want to handle this? Sorry, I'm just 236. All right. I think what I want to do, I actually did this the other day with ASTS, actually. I did this yesterday with ASTS, and it wound up working really nicely. So let's see what this number comes out to be. Give me one sec. 33 plus. So 71.44. So what I'm doing, and I was curious to see how this would play out, and it played out really nicely, like I said. Whenever I get to these, well, not whenever, the thing that I'm testing is whenever I get to these larger fib extensions, so once you hit the 1.618, then you're kind of talking about just 100%, 100%, 100%, so 1.618, 2 point, 3 point, so on and so forth, right? Is splitting, essentially given a 50% move between those larger fib extensions. I've started to notice that we tend to find resistances around there on the test to the upside. So that's what I'm kind of taking a shot with here. So before I go kind of putting this out there, I wanted to kind of give you all the method behind this potential madness here. Based on that, and this more recent set of fib extensions, yeah, I mean, in a bullish market, overbought can stay overbought for a long time. So, all right, so I'm looking for that break over 65.54, and again, we are playing with essentially projections, but we've been pretty accurate with those lately. I think we called another new all-time high. What was it, within 10 cents last week on SPY? So, and let's see what this comes out to be. Come on, man. Move. Plus 83.20. Probably could have done that math in my head, but I didn't feel like it. All right, cool. So those would be the upside targets. Let's go ahead and get this on the chart while I'm sitting here. And again, very much a projection, but a highly educated projection. Stop loss, I would actually read this support and resistance right here that we're testing pre-market as the most logical stop loss. All right, so we got that in place. Let's figure out where downside gets interesting. Yeah, it actually could get kind of interesting. We could share stop loss with that upside plan below 58.29. This fib extension from this prior set, although I did also drop that line a little bit low, might be just a little tiny bit off, like right about there. Yeah, it's pretty close. And that's just up just a little bit. Yeah, right about there. Makes for a good first price target, in my opinion. Second target, we'll take it down to 49.32. Third target, where is this level going to sit at? Yeah, right about here. 44.85. So let's get this locked in. So there's the shared stop loss. All right, there we go. Cool. Cool. That looks solid. All right, let's go. Here is the Iron live stream plan. And get this posted in the Elite chat. Oops, that's not how you spell live. Lil. What the hell? What's wrong with this guy? All right, let's fix that. There we go. And let me get my link here. Let's get this locked in. There. There. Get our template. And last but not least, our alerts. I'll give this one until next Monday, close of business. All right, so let's talk through this one more time, and then we'll get to our next ticker. What are we looking for here on IREN? We're looking for a break above 65.54. That should give us targets at 71.48, 77.33, and 83.20, with a stop loss average down at 61.38. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 58.29. That should give us price targets at 53.11, 49.32, and 44.85, with a shared stop loss average down with this upside trade plan at 61.38. There you go. That's your IREN plan. Let's roll with it. All right. What was next? EVGO. Let's EV go. Yeah, I said it. Somebody asked me, did you really just say that? Yeah, I said it. EV go. Can you please check? Looks like it's stuck. Let's find out. Well, more importantly, let's find out when it will be unstuck. Which means ready to give us some money. All right. Clean this up real quick. Yeah, we did that plan back on the 19th. Curiosity. Call entry was there at 4:23. And it just hit all of our upside targets actually from that plan way back when. Never really gave a convincing break to the downside either. So put that in the for what it's worth category. All right. I was just curious what the last plan we did on it was looking like. All right. So what are we going to do with EVGO? $4.94, $5.11 weekly. All right. Yeah, I mean, this could be ready to make another push. If it can break over this 511 level, I think we've got a reasonable backstop here at 478. The only question is, how much of a factor is this 544 weekly resistance going to be? Dell? Oh, Chris just gave the blessing on Dell. I think I know what we're charting next. We actually had a really good trade on Dell last time we planned it. This weekly level does look like it is a little bit higher. Yeah, screw it. Let's do Dell again. All right, I like that. Push up to 549, and then a test of 585 and then 636 to the upside. This one would be a great one to accumulate shares. Who knows? Maybe it becomes one of those ones that you're like, oh man, I remember looking at Tesla back at 15. I don't think that the EVgo is gonna go that crazy, but you catch my drift. You never know. It's always, if you can accumulate some shares, get your money back and some profit, and still hold some shares after some profit taking, then it's kind of just house money. You can hold them for a while, see where they go at that point. We got Be Happy, aka A Under Siege, aka the Panikin, aka the SPX Sniper in the house. Good to see you here, man. I know all the names, bro. How old are you? I'm old, bro. I've been around forever. I was here in the days of Fun Trade and Options Guru. Yeah, I think this level is just a little bit lower. And I think that actually does make for a slightly smarter exit. Zaddy, baby. I'm no Pedro Pascal. he's the ultimate zaddy, isn't he? Or is he old news now? Who's the new zaddy? All right. I kid. All right, cool. Sorry. I was working while I was BSing around, I promise. Whoops. Dang it. That is a shared stop loss. So there we go. I'm aged like fine wine, my friend. All right. Let's go. Enough with the funny business. Let's get to the money business. Oh, hey, how about that? How's that for some freestyle poetry there? I'm gonna sign up for Def Jam. Now you know I'm old. There you go. That was the giveaway right there. That, I don't know how I let that slip out. All right. You know how I know you're old? You know what Def Jam is. You got that reference. All right, so let's talk through our EVGO plan here. What are we looking to do as I copy the message link? Excuse me. We're looking for a break over 511. That should give us price targets at 549, 585, and 636 with a stop loss average down at 478. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 449. That should give us some downside targets at 421, 399, and 371 with a shared stop loss average down with the upside trade plan there at 478. Let me get this locked in. What am I doing? Y'all got me distracted talking about Def Jam. What are you doing, buddy? Get it together. Save template. Cool, that sounds great. Yes. Now let's get our alerts. All right, there we go. CCCX. Okay, thanks for the heads up on that. I'm definitely interested in quantum names. We're still riding those qubit calls. They were looking really good pre-market, and then it pulled back a bit. But still looking good. All right, so what do we decide on? Dell. Dell's up next. Let's do Dell. Let's get that locked in. We got time for one more. Let's do it. Let's see if we can hit another banger on Dell. Oh, and it's moving here pre-market. Looks like it's moving through some old trade plan levels, or did we... Oh no, that's right. This was our trade plan down there. I guess we did another one. How did we wind up with levels all the way up there? Oh, that must be from a... Oh, no, maybe that was our... I don't know. I'm getting lost in the sauce, and I don't need to be. Sorry. Let's get this cleaned up. Let's just try to remember where we played that last plan from. All right, so... What up, thug? I don't know why my mouse isn't doing my little scroll action there that I like to have. I have to fix that. Oh, you know, just chilling, man. Another day, another dollar in the markets. So where are we right now? Testing about 155.97 after sweeping above. I'm just gonna not saying this is the level, but I want to keep an eye on it. Man, lots of sweeps above on this thing. I mean, I don't want to sit on the sidelines too long on this. Could be either of those two levels. Sorry, I'm just thinking through this kind of in my head real quick. Interesting. Just, I don't want to get caught in a bull trap. That's obviously not good. All right, let's take a look at this. And really, it could stretch up to that. Okay, all right. I promise I'm making up my mind. I'm just deciding how aggressive I want to be on this call entry. The answers, we're going to take a shot at it. We're also going to take a shot at stretching a little bit on PT1 here. PT2 I like right where we've got it there. This was coming together slowly but surely. I know it seemed like I was just spinning my wheels. That's the setup to the upside. Let's check this downside while we're back here real quick. All right. This is just a weird move on Dell here recently. All right. How do we want to plan this downside? Where does that get interesting? All right. Sorry. I'm just trying to read the tea leaves a little bit here. Make a slight adjustment on this level. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that works. All right. Take more profits there at 137. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, we got ourselves a plan. Let's see how it plays out. Let's get this locked in here. And over that, looking for whoops, did that backwards. What's up, Kumar? Yeah, sure, we could talk about that at some point. Kumar over in the YouTube chat, for those who think I'm talking to myself and potentially an imaginary friend. Why does that not look right? What did I type backwards there? Hang on. I messed something up. 155.97, 161, 166.78, 171.60, Oh, that's what I did. That looks better. Okay, cool. All right, here comes the Dell live stream plan. And let's get this knocked out in the elite chat. Get our message link. All right, cool. Boom there. And alerts set. All right, so what are we looking for here on Dell? We're looking for it to crack 155.97 resistance to potentially test these higher price targets at 161.25, 166.78, and 171.60 with a stop loss average down at 152.24. To the downside, we're looking for it to lose 147.09 support for a move down to 141.25 and then down to 137.93 and 133.27 with a stop loss average down at 150.38. Those are your Dell live stream plans, and we are about 20 minutes out from market open. I'm going to take a little bit of extra time to go through the SPY plan and check some other tickets. Let's try that again. Tickers here pre-market. So I want to thank you all for joining me. I do appreciate it. We will be back Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another session of Chart Talk Live. Yeah, I got the tickets, baby. For another session of Chart Talk Live. So with that, I will see you guys here Thursday. As we always say, plan your trades, trade your plans. Remember, we're looking for profits, not perfection. So keep those wins big, keep those losses small. Go out there, secure the bag. I will see you all in the chats, and I will see you back here Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, take care. Have a great day.